Welcome. Hi, this is Dr. Phyllis, your joy fueled resilience coach. And I have, as always, been thinking of you. And I recently heard a clip of an interview between Oprah and Lady Gaga. Oprah was interviewing her, and the clip talked about mental health. And Lady Gaga, who I have a lot of respect for, if you have a chance to listen or read about her story growing up, but she talked about how she has learned to put her shame in a little box and put it away in a corner and embrace her life and get on with her life. And yes, she takes medication to keep her mental health even, but she just embraces it and moves on. And it touched me today, sis, because as a resilient woman, you have seen a lot and you have experienced a lot. And if you're not careful, you can let shame keep you stuck. You may not even realize it. And so, in today's episode, I want to talk about letting go of shame and embracing your growth journey. I know from my own experience, as I have continued to pull back the layers of my life, as I have found more and more meaning and made peace with things that were done or said or decisions I made or didn't make over the course of my life, I can see that I have for years lived life almost in two parallel universes. And meaning that there is the public persona and the private persona. And there is the outward persona that people see and have commented on, that they see me as this very extroverted, go-getting person. Yet deep down, I really am an introvert and really enjoy that private time and that time with God and time with my thoughts. And when I have been prone to get out there and put too much on my to-do plate, as I you hear me talk about, often it's been because I have been feeling stuck, or I have felt shame about something, or I am trying to outrun feelings because I want to avoid them. And often in the past, that has played out in terms of stress eating, or as I said, just getting involved with a bunch of projects or tasks, looking for a sort of high and looking to define joy by the doing. And where this plays in, and where I want you to be courageous, because as a resilient woman, I believe you're here because you're just like me, and outwardly, you have continued to weather the storm. You are the one who has multiple things on your plate. You are running from project to project. You are the go to person. You are the problem solver. You are the burden bearer. You suck things up. You're just like, okay, people say things to you, people do things to you. You don't feel good about things, but yet you just kind of absorb it. You suck it up, as I say. Um, and you keep going. And over time, you continue to kind of use that as your badge of honor. And maybe in a way, you too have felt that you get that short-term high by going the extra mile and being able to see that you've helped someone, which is a blessing. You fixed their problem. And yet you feel stuck because it's easier for you to be motivated to help others. It's easier for you to go the extra mile to fix someone else's situation, yet you feel stuck and that you're not growing because either you're afraid or maybe you're feeling shame about what's gone on in your life. And I'm talking about it could be deep down shame and trauma. It could be that when you look back over your life, while you have done some great things, you look at dreams that you've had that you put on the shelf and you feel badly because on one hand you don't feel that you've accomplished everything that you really wanted to accomplish. Maybe you had to take that certain job or or make a certain decision because that's what was needed to be done at the time. Yet while it may have helped you get forward with some goals, yet your passions, your feeling of creativity where you've looked to do that maybe in your job or in certain volunteer situations, or maybe you've been playing them out with your kids, right? You've been trying to have them accomplish some things that you wish you had accomplished, yet you don't feel that you've grown and you feel stuck because when you look back over, which again, let me say this, feeling stuck, excuse me, um, it's getting to be that kind of allergy season for me, so forgive me. But feeling stuck is not always a negative thing. Feeling stuck can mean that you just don't feel like you're growing. And circling back to how I opened this episode talking about Lady Gaga is what struck me is for her, there has been different experiences over her life that have caused her shame, and there's always people who I'm sure just like us, right, who knew us back when, and they want us to stay there. And you will hear me, and most recently I talked about certain relationships that no longer are suited to go with you in the next season, is people want to continue to keep you back there. All of a sudden I thought about in scripture when, you know, Jesus was in the midst of his ministry and there were people from his hometown, that said, "Well, isn't that the carpenter's son?" because they still saw him where he was in the past. And if you have a tendency, which I think many of us resilient women have, we're resilient for a reason. God has created us with the courage and the tenacity to keep going. And often because we have this superpower, right, of being resilient, God has given us the ability to be in so many different situations. And because we've been in so many different situations that maybe have led to promotion or being asked to do things at a higher level, we've been asked to do more things, right? So that we have more on our plate and we are trying to meet so many different people's expectations. As we have accumulated more experiences, good, bad, and the other, we also fight potentially these voices that tell us we're not enough, or if someone doesn't approach us in a positive way when we have given our heart and we've just done everything. If we're not careful, it's easy for us to think it's our fault that we did not win that popularity contest. Because I believe that for us resilient Christian women who have big hearts to be of service and caring, and we can't help it, we care. If there's a problem that we feel we can help, we're going to do it. We can't not help people and help them be their best. It's just who we are. But in the midst of that, when you step out on faith and you do extraordinary things, you're going to run into some lemons. You're going to run into some people who are hurt. And because how can you be resilient if you haven't gone through something? So if you look at where you've come from birth, the experiences that you've had, there's a reason why you see yourself as a resilient person. It's because life has not always been easy. And with that being said, and as I said, you're going to have those lemon situations. We have to constantly look at them as stepping stones of growth, or yes, stepping stones of growth along this journey. Yet not let negative voices of our past keep us stuck, or when, cuz if when God is calling us to a higher level, Satan is going to get busy. And you're going to have those people just like Jesus from, Jesus's hometown, who are going to tell you, well, aren't you the carpenter's daughter? Right? Aren't you the one? Aren't you're Lady Gaga now, but aren't you the one who did X, Y, and Z in the past? And because we're already our own worst critic, it's easy for us to go back there with our mind and say, yeah, that is the same person. So how, we can become very negative on ourselves, and we can be ashamed that maybe even that we let people's comments get to us because we feel like, you know, we're resilient. So we shouldn't let things get to us. So when they do, or when we react to those things, then on top of it, we're ashamed of ourselves. And you can see, sis, where this causes you this ongoing cycle. It becomes the hamster wheel. I call it the treadmill, that you're doing all of these things, trying to get somewhere, but you're never getting there. So today I want you to call out any negative narratives or shame that you have, because I'll be the first one to raise my hand and let you know. I've made some decisions, be them in relationships or at work, in terms of leadership decisions, um, that I look back over, even as a young child, as a young girl, that I look back over, and if I'm not careful, or even in college, even in my training, my medical training, in graduate school, ministerial studies, seminary, my volunteering in the community as a parent, Lord knows, when we're mentoring or parenting children, we're going to make some mistakes. And if we don't face them, face any negative thoughts around those relationships or decisions, they will continually replay. Or when things happen in life, it's like a scab that gets pulled off, and we will stay stuck there. And I want you to know, sis, there is nothing wasted. We all have sinned. We all have messed up and fallen short. You're not the only one who's been in a relationship that you look back over and say, "Why was I in a relationship? In that relationship?" You're not the only one who maybe did some things that now you look at and you're ashamed. You're not the only one. And anyone who tells you, who wants to stand in judgment for you, shame on them. And those are the people you need to get out of your village quickly. Usher them to the door. Okay? But I want you today is to have the knowledge that God loves you. I love you. I see you. You're not alone. I know that publicly you look like you got it going on, but privately you're struggling. You keep putting your best foot forward, but privately you feel like you're just not growing. And again, because I'm you, I've been there. And that's why I'm committed to be your coach. I'm here and I see you. So today I want you to let go of shame and embrace your growth journey, cuz it's all about growth. Don't be afraid to grow. And I am here to help you. You use all of your energies every day to help other people be the best they can be. Well, I'm here to help you be the best that you can be. I'm here to give you courage. I'm here to help you create space in your day, in your life, to continue to grow into who God has created you to be. Who you serve and who you care for is an extension of who He's created you to be. But He has some things in store for you. So I want to help you get unstuck. So this week, I want you to let go of shame and embrace your journey. And as I said, I'm here to do it with you, to do life together. I love you. I see you. Have a very blessed week. And I'll see you next week on the Joy Fueled Resilient Woman podcast. Bye for now.